Hi viewers, you're watching Sansad TV with me Rashika. This is House Highlights, where we get you the details of today's session in both houses of the Parliament. A look at the headlines of the day first. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman replies to the general discussion on Union Budget 2023-24, asserts that disparity in income levels can only be bridged by achieving development goals. Rajya Sabha witnesses noisy scenes. Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar expresses displeasure over disruptions in the House and conduct of members on Thursday. And Rajya Sabha Chairman suspends Congress MP Rajni Patil for the remainder of the budget session for filming House proceedings. In the lower house today, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman replied to the general discussion on the budget 2023-24, making a point-by-point rebuttal of issues raised by the opposition.
The Indian economy is still the fastest growing major economy and shall continue to be so even in 23-24. So since the pandemic, when the economy dipped by -23, our efforts to recover the economy has been through the capex route, capital expenditure route from the government side. And this because it has great multiplier effect, enables to have in situ jobs created where the projects of the public expenditure are being spent and the projects are being made to rise. So that immediately in situ creates a lot of jobs and therefore triggers better income and therefore triggers better consumption.
The Finance Minister further said Budget 2023-24 balances India's growth with fiscal prudence.
Budget of 2023-24 is, it actually, in a way, if I can say, astutely balances the requirement for India's development imperatives within the limits of fiscal prudence. So that is a very difficult balance. I'm sure most of us who are speaking on the Indian economy and the budget would observe that it is a very, very tight, measure. It's a very delicately balanced act, and that's what has been achieved in 2023-24 budget.
Dismissing the opposition charge on not providing adequate share to the states, the Finance Minister said the allocations have increased by over 1,50,000 crore rupees.
Total resources being transferred to the states, that is the central share in taxes, releases under the centrally sponsored schemes, both put together under the BE 23-24, which is the proposed budget which is on the table of this House for consideration, is estimated at 17.98 lakh crores. This is higher. This is higher by 1.55 lakh crores over the last year, which is the current running year as of March 31st, 2023. So this is higher by 1.55 lakh crores over RE of 22-23. I'm not even comparing it with the BE. Even over the RE, what we've proposed in the current budget, which is under the consideration of the Parliament, is far higher. It is higher by 1.55 lakh crores. 1.3 lakh crore is being given to states as 50-year loan without interest. So the state's interest has always been kept up and kept in our mind, and making sure that we are in time giving them what is their rightful amounts.
The Finance Minister summarized the schemes and allocations for the middle class, MSME, rural, education, health and other sectors. On agriculture, she said the government has many provisions to make the sector more robust.
India will be developed as a global hub for Shri Ann, that is the millets, Agricultural Accelerator Fund for agri-startups, major increase in storage facilities through cooperatives, computerization of the PACS, tax relief to cooperative sugar mills and PACs. That is more than about 9,000 crores, which is going for the benefit of the sugarcane farmers. Decentralized storage facilities through cooperatives to enable farmers to store their produce and sell it at the right time when they will get better prices. And also a new sub-scheme for fishermen, fish vendors under the PM Matsya Sampada Yojana. All this is definitely going to make India's agriculture far more robust.
The FM also said allocation on food security is not being reduced, as has been alleged by the opposition.
The central government now, under the new PM Garib Kalyan Yojana, which has been introduced since December 2022, in the last 2 financial years, I've already said, in the December allocation of PM Garib Kalyan Yojana, which will continue to the Antyodaya and the priority households, the central government will bear all costs of the PDS operation with no cost to the beneficiary or even to the state governments. The entire cost will be on the central government. NFSA 2013-14, sir, only 7 states took. And what did it give? It gave 5 kgs. गरीब के लिए, क्योंकि कोविड के समय किसी गरीब भूखे ना रहे, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी एडिशनल 5 केजी दिया। वो एडिशनल 5 केजी को अभी याद दिला रहे हैं। आप तो पहले से नहीं दिए, 5 केजी बोले, 7 स्टेट्स में किए, बाकी देश भर में नहीं किए। आज आ गए इतना गरीब के लिए, क्या बात है जी।
She further stated, despite importing fertilizer at a very high price, the government has not passed the burden on to the farmers.
Ek bori, which is 45 kgs, I think, of fertilizer, was somewhere in the range of 220 rupees. Whereas we had to import it somewhere in the range of 2,800. The very same 45 kg bori was 2,900 something, approximately. The import cost had gone up. We imported it all at that cost, but did not put the burden on the farmer. किसान के ऊपर 1 पैसा ज़्यादा तब भी नहीं लिया, अभी भी नहीं लिया. ये टोटल केंद्र सरकार के ऊपर है.
On the price of petroleum products, the finance minister said, although the centre has reduced the excise duty twice, after a hike in international crude prices, opposition ruled states increased VAT instead of providing relief to the people.
Foreign price, import price जब ज़्यादा हुआ, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी 2 बार एक्साइज ड्यूटी को कम करके जनता के ऊपर बोझ ना हो, ऐसे स्टेप लिया. हम तो जनता के ऊपर बर्डन कम हो, इसीलिए एक्साइज ड्यूटी को कम कर रहे हैं. इसके उल्टा करने वाले स्टेट्स का नाम लेना चाहती हूं सर. सॉरी, मेरा हिंदी सही आ रही है कि नहीं? एक्टिव मेंबर गोगोई जी, वो उनके हिमाचल के सरकार से पूछना चाहिए. चुनाव जीतकर आने के तुरंत बाद वैट, VAT, वैल्यू एडेड टैक्स ऑन डीजल 3 रुपए ज्यादा किया. ये उनका है.
Earlier, continuing the discussion on the union budget, Dr. Kirit Prembhai Solanki praised it for setting development goals for the country.
विकास एवं वैश्विक फोकस की नींव स्थापित करने वाला ये बजट है. हमारे वसुधैव कुटुंबकम व्यवस्था के सिद्धांत पर भरोसा रखते दुनिया को अपनी समस्या का समाधान दिख रहा है. जो महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका है आने वाले समय में, वैश्विक भूमिका है, उसको दर्शाता है. इस बीच वैश्विक महामारी तथा युद्ध की विषमताओं के बीच भी भारत का विकास दर 7% रहने का अनुमान है, जो विश्व में शायद सर्वाधिक ही होगा.
Dr. Mohammad Javed raised the issue of Bihar being deprived of allocation for various schemes in this budget.
बिहार के लिए इन्होंने कुछ नहीं सोचा। बिहार से लगभग 1.25 करोड़ लोग बाहर पूरे हिंदुस्तान में खट रहे हैं। अभी हमारे अलग अलग राज्यों के लोग कह रहे थे अगर वहां तरक्की है तो वो हमारे बाजुओं के वजह से है और हम वहां इनह्यूमन कंडीशन में रह रहे हैं। हमारे बिहार में क्यों नहीं योजनाएं दी जा रही हैं, पैसे क्यों नहीं दिए जा रहे हैं? क्योंकि वो चाहते हैं कि बिहार गरीब रहे और बिहार से गरीब मजदूर पूरे मुल्क में डर डर की ठोकर खाए।
BJP's Manoj Kotak thanked the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister for providing for mechanized cleaning of sewers in cities under the Namaste Yojana in Budget 2023-24. He said that in the last 5 years, over 300 lives have been lost in cleaning sewers, and the new scheme will certainly help in saving lives.
ह्यूमैनिटी फर्स्ट, मानवता के नाम पे जो सीवर लाइन है, जिसके अंदर 5 साल, पिछले 5 साल का अगर रिकॉर्ड देखे तो 347 लोगों की मृत्यु केवल सीवर क्लीनिंग के नाम पे मैन होल के अंदर उतर के जो जहरीली गैस पैदा होती है उसके कारण हुई है। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने और वित्त मंत्री जी ने इस साल के बजट में नमस्ते योजना लाई है, जिसके कारण मैकेनाइज क्लीनिंग के द्वारा सभी शहरों के अंदर सीवर लाइन को मैकेनाइज क्लीनिंग से युक्त किया जाएगा और मशीनरी से ये सफाई होगी, जो मानवता के दृष्टि से इन वर्ग के लोगों को राहत दिलाने वाली है, जिसके कारण में ये मैकेनाइज क्लीनिंग के कारण जान भी बचेगी और स्वच्छता भी बढ़ेगी।
Leader of the Congress in Lok Sabha, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, called the budget anti-farmer and anti-people.
I am opposing the budget documents, which is nothing but a piece of vapid rigmarole, because the budget itself is an eloquent testimony of the attitude of this government, which is simply anti-farmer, anti-people, anti-labor, anti-SC, anti-ST, anti-minority, and all.
Time now for a short break in the bulletin. On the other side, news about the proceedings of the upper house. Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar suspended Congress MP Rajni Patil for the remainder of the budget session for filming House proceedings. The chairman had earlier indicated that action will be taken against those who had filmed the noisy scenes during the Prime Minister's speech in the Rajya Sabha on Thursday. He also asked members to express their views on the issue. Earlier, Union Minister Piyush Goyal drew the attention of the House to the incident. He said it was misconduct and disregard of the rules of the House.
That incident has happened yesterday, where it is been found that on social media we are seeing videos recorded in this august house in a very, very unfortunate manner, showing senior members of parliament in very poor light, unauthorizedly being recorded. Clearly it shows that it has been recorded in the precincts of this august house, and it has been demonstrated and distributed through social media. The Honorable MP had requested that you may kindly have the matter investigated and examined, and the honorable member responsible for any such act, and this I would consider as a misconduct of the House. This I will consider as blatant and flagrant disregard for the rules of the House, and such actions only bring disrepute to the entire august House and to the entire members of this House, and to your chair, sir. I would urge your good self to kindly name the member who was involved in this act, and appropriate actions befitting the disregard for the directions of the chair, befitting the breaking of the rules of this House, should be taken out in this case.
Further speaking on the incident, Chairman Dhankar announced that the Privileges Committee will probe the matter and Patil will remain suspended till it submits its report. He asserted that the matter will not be handed over to any outside agency, while reiterating that Parliament is the ultimate architects of the Constitution.
Honorable members, taking note of this motion, taking note of sentiments of the House, the honorable member Rajni Patil Ashok Rao Before I do that, taking note of very significant enlightening response and reference by the leader of the opposition, the entire matter will be probed by the Privileges Committee. And till we have the benefit of the recommendation of the Privileges Committee for consideration of this august House, going by the situation and what I've seen, I don't wish to be judgmental, none in the House can be at the moment. But a strong prima facie situation has emanated. Shrimati Rajni Patil Ashok Rao is suspended for the remaining period of the current session until there is report available for consideration of the House from the Privileges Committee. I put this motion for consideration of the House. Taking note of the sentiment of the House, it is hereby directed that all steps be taken that are applicable for a member who is under suspension, and this will be effective during the remaining period of the current session, subject to a report being made available by the Privileges Committee for consideration of this august House. I need to hold out an assurance to the members. The honorable member has indicated that our action should not be such that some other authority can scrutinize it. I assure the House there is no authority beyond Parliament to scrutinize our actions. I further assure the House there is a constitutional prescription to that level. I indicated so on 7 December 2022. I reiterate, we are the ultimate architect of Constitution. There is no authority under the Constitution that can even look at issues that are meant for us. There was a suggestion, one second. There was a suggestion that we could immediately investigate through agencies Twitter handle. I said no, that idea doesn't occur to me. And that suggestion came from a distinguished member. I said, as chairman, I will vindicate the trust of my electorate. We will deal it in-house and will not seek any outside assistance, number one. And number two, the Honorable LOP has made a very significant point. I will react to that.
Later in the Rajya Sabha, replying to the discussion on Union Budget for 2023-24, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said the budget has come up with provisions for the middle class, employment generations, MSMEs, agriculture, rural, population, health and green growth.
We've received inputs from RBI, which says scheduled commercial banks wrote off an amount of 10,09,511 crores in the last 5 years, and write-off is not waive-off, and every account which has a write-off, we still pursue them legally to get the monies back and also auction their properties if they don't pay up. So, write-off is 10,09,511 in the last 5 years, and the borrowers of written-off loans continue to be liable for repayment. The process of recovery dues from these borrowers in written-off loan accounts always continues till we get it all off.
Earlier members cutting across party lines took part in the discussion.
अगर हम किसानों को अन्नदाता कहते हैं तो आय करदाता जो होता है उसको हम दान करदाता कहना चाहिए कि उसके टैक्स से जो है वह जा करके लोगों के गरीब कल्याण के लिए खर्च होता है, इसलिए वह उसका सम्मान होना चाहिए, वो दान करदाता के रूप में जाना चाहिए। यह सरकार पे भरोसा है कि 3.6 करोड़ रिटर्न 2013-14 में भरी जाती थी। आज के दिन में इतना बड़ा विश्वास लोगों का है मोदी सरकार की नीतियों में, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी पे, कि यह रिटर्न 3.6 से 6.5 6.5 करोड़ रिटर्न की संख्या हो गई। यह भरोसा और विश्वास बढ़ा है।
The National Green Hydrogen Mission, with an outlay of close to 20,000 crore, will facilitate the country to transition to a low carbon economy and also reduce our dependency on the fossil fuel imports. Sir, it won't be out of place for me here to mention that Odisha was the first state to keep track of and make public disclosure of the government expenditure made for climate action and to mainstream climate action into the state's budget.
Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar expressed his disappointment about the absence of several members during the discussion on the budget.
This is a rare opportunity. People expect us that we make our contributions, our suggestions, so that the government may be enlightened. The absence of the members on this most momentous occasion does not augur well for democratic values. We are facing a situation where dialogue, debate, and discussion is evading the hallowed precincts of this House. We are yielding our ground to forces outside the House, and that will never strengthen democracy. There is no issue which cannot be determined by dialogue, deliberations, and discussions. I do hope my sentiments will be appreciated, and we will in future work seriously to raise the level of the debate. Honorable members are very well informed. They are enormously talented. They bring on the table huge experience, but it will do a great good if we are attentive when the debate takes place, so that we do not repeat a point that has been hammered on number of occasions. I am happy some of the members have made well-prepared contributions, and that is highly impactful. It has sent a very bad signal today, like yesterday, that there are no speakers. They are absent. There can be no reason or rationale for such kind of absence from the House.
The Rajya Sabha on Friday witnessed noisy scenes over different issues. As the day's proceedings began, the opposition members demanded clarification on why their notices under Rule 267 were being rejected by Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar. The chairman expressed displeasure over disruption in the House and conduct of the members yesterday. He said it is for the House to decide in which way it wants to function.
5 notices received under Rule 267 are held by me as to be not in order. Sir, if you have a right, that right has to be exercised in accordance with the late procedure. The only procedure which is known to this House at the moment, what I have seen in, once again, just get up and say your way. Let me tell you, I informed the House that every decision taken by me is after due consideration of the entire record. There was a spectacle yesterday. A member came from there, here, where is my amendment? He doesn't read the bulletin. He was not present in the House when it was required to be admitted. And then raise an issue. Please, observe silence. Number two, another member comes with the same thing. Is this the way to raise issues?
Congress and other opposition MPs staged a walkout in Rajya Sabha on Friday after Leader of Opposition Mallikarjun Kharge was not allowed to speak in the House. Kharge wanted to raise the issue of some of his observations being expunged by the chair. Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar said he had allowed the Leader of Opposition earlier, but he cannot be allowed to raise the same points which have been already expunged.
रूल 3A के तहत मैं यहाँ पर पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर रेज करने की कोशिश की, लेकिन यहाँ पर मुझे करने नहीं दिया.
Earlier, the leader of the House, Piyush Goyal, said Kharge should apologize on behalf of the entire opposition for the noisy disturbances during the Prime Minister's speech on the President's address in Rajya Sabha.
I think I am on a firm ground. If any member, Leader of the House or Leader of the Opposition, seeks leave of the chair to take floor and then reads the portions that have been expunged, no. Secondly, all of us get agitated sometimes. We get emotive also, perhaps on account of disagreement. Perhaps we consider the other side is not reasonable. But does it look nice? The leader of the opposition, by body language and words, followed by his very senior colleagues, labels all kinds of allegations against the chair, day in and day out. No, sir, no. No, I will not be there. Okay. All of us, I request, let me tell you, the respect which leader of the opposition has, in my estimate, will never go down. He has earned it over decades, but I am entitled to reflect and reveal my feelings.
The members of the ruling party were requesting for an apology which was not forthcoming from any of the leaders of the opposition, and therefore, sir, with the behavior that we had seen yesterday of the Prime Minister, with the fact that every rule of the House has been in contempt, with the fact that your own instructions are being totally disobeyed, I don't think the leader of the opposition should continue with the rest of his comments until he first gives an apology on behalf of all the opposition.
Both houses were adjourned for the day and will meet again at 11 a.m. on Monday. That's all in today's bulletin. For updates on the budget session, keep watching Sansad TV. Good night.